Hello, this is another episode of Another Angle, and we're going to be discussing what would Tucker Carlson 2024 presidency, like what would it look like if Tucker Carlson became president in 2024? There's been quite a bit of talk about it. I haven't heard Tucker say anything about it, but maybe I just haven't heard. But regardless, let's look at what a presidency under him would look like. So Tucker Carlson, if you don't know, he's a 51-year-old television host. He is the host of the Tucker Carlson Tonight Show. It's the most popular show in the U.S. and it's on Fox News. So Tucker Carlson, I think he considers himself like a populist conservative. He's a lot of the time on his show, he'll be talking about it's the working class versus the big, like the big business owners, and he really likes small business, and so he's kind of similar to Trump, but there's a lot of things wrong with this guy. Any populist movement, in my view, is usually pretty good. Like populism is always good. Like right-wing populism is a little bit misguided, but anything that's for the people, I support that. The thing is, Tucker Carlson, he goes on and on about being about populism, about fighting against the big businesses, big corporations trying to destroy the little man. It's all a lie. It's just an absolute lie. He is a very rich man. I don't know how much money he has, but he has a lot of money. But that's not it. Like I'm not saying like, oh look, Bernie has money. He's not a populist. I'm not saying just because he's rich, he's not a populist. I'm saying there's like a recording of him talking about he is like a king in a castle, and his job is to make sure that the peasants don't look at the castle with envy. He, I'll see if I can find that clip, but if I can't, go and look it up. Maybe like put it in the comments and I'll like pin it. But yeah, he's talking about like, he's like the man in the castle. You gotta keep the peasants from looking at the castle with envy. He said something along those lines. This guy's he's absolutely not a populist. If he became a president, it would, his ideal government would be a kleptocracy. He would do anything in his power to use his position as president to make as much money as possible. Like, Trump taking money from the Saudi government for arms deals, like, that's nothing. That'd be nothing compared to what Tucker Carlson would want to do. A couple other bad things. He's against, no smoking zones. He's against seatbelt laws. He's kind of really racist from what I've seen. Like, he really does not like immigrants. He does not want demographic change. He wants America to stay white. I would call him a nationalist. He also one good thing. He really doesn't like the wars and stuff. But it's a fact that he's lying about his like populist dream, like for the people views. So, would he really get us out of the wars if he was president? No, I don't think so. I don't think so. He might actually really want to get us out of there, and he might actually do something, unlike Trump. Like Trump says, "Oh, we got to get out of the war. We got to get out of these wars. We got to get out of the Middle East." He's president. He's the one who's in control of the military. He could get us out tomorrow if he wanted. But yeah, he's pretty libertarian like his economic views, and libertarianism, That's just the opposite of populism. Like, getting rid of, like, regulations on, like, the market, getting rid of government intervention in the market, it just leads to massive companies just paying workers pennies. It's a fact. If you look back in history, all libertarian economic systems, all the laissez-faire systems, they just don't work. And maybe he's not laissez-faire, but still, it's pretty obvious. The more, it's like a scale. The more libertarian you get, the more the rich stomp all over the poor. It's almost just like a fact. Like, them talking about, oh, competition, it just doesn't work in practice. And until we get like a truly anarchist capitalist state, we cannot test their ideas of true capitalism. Yeah, he's against, like, he does a lot of things. Like, he focuses in on, like, oh, anti-SJWs. He does like a lot of that on his show. Like, just like, oh, look at these stupid people saying stupid things, like, that, oh, men should have tampons or something. It's like a, what's it? It's Sargon of Akkad. It's kind of like that. He's called the Black Lives Matter campaign. Like a campaign for ideological domination rather than genuine opposition to police brutality. Yeah, it's just saying Black Lives Matter is like a terrorist organization or just like something like that. It's just, come on, it's just, I don't know what to tell you. It's just racism saying Black Lives Matter, unless Black Lives Matter was actually going out and blowing up like buildings and stuff. Like, I know, yeah, oh look, a building caught fire in a protest. You can't point everything at BLM and Antifa. You know, if he was president, he would really stoke the fires of nationalism and racism in America, just like Trump kind of has. Like, during like the Trump presidency, hate crimes are up. It's just a fact. Like, their views stoke a lot of it's just a lot of xenophobic and racist feelings in a lot of people. So yeah, if he was president, it would just be complete nationalist. He'd be trying to steal as much money as he can. But the thing is, he'd be kind of like Trump, except he'd be a lot more efficient and a lot smarter at doing things than Trump is. Because Tucker Carlson is a smarter person than Trump. I don't know how to like prove that, but just like, if you like watch his show, if you like watch what he does, he's a lot more calculated than Trump is. Trump does whatever without thinking about it. Tucker Carlson would probably plan out things, and he'd probably have like a cover story for everything, and he probably wouldn't get like in so many scandals. But Trump has so many scandals, and it's just Trump that like it doesn't even matter. Because like, oh yeah, he did that, so what? He's done worse things. So yeah, Tucker Carlson presidency, libertarian views don't work. Cutting regulations just doesn't work. Getting rid of like safety laws is just dangerous. Like, no smoking. Who would want to get rid of no smoking rooms? Like, you just have to be kind of like not a nice person to just go in a museum and like smoke. That's just ridiculous. Yeah. So that's this episode of Another Angle. Goodbye.